Hey everybody, and welcome to a very special Week 10 Big Brother 18 recap show with Tiffany, your favorite, our favorite. It's going to be such a good show, and of course, we will take questions that you guys have for Tiffany at the end of the show. Just let me remind you guys, if you want to see any of the flashback times and stuff you miss on the feeds, it's yourrealityrecaps.com/bb18 flashbacks. If you want any spoilers, they're over at /bb18 spoilers, and all of these recap shows are at yourrealityrecaps.com/bb18. If you don't have the feeds and want to support our shows, yourrealityrecaps.com/feeds. And you patron, I'm not even going to Patreon or PayPal. I'm going to say lastly, we only have 4 more days left. yourrealityrecaps.com/Amazon video. Check that out. It takes 3 minutes to watch the video, another minute to sign up for some free trials, and it really will help support our shows and everything that we need to stay up and running during the year. But that being said, let's get to the lady you all want to hear from. It's Tiffany. And how are you doing?
Hello. How are you?
How was your first day of school?
It was intense. It was a long day. Definitely had to get up early, which was different, but overall a good day for sure.
I don't miss it at all. I mean, I know you're not in school and you're not in school, but you're kind of there. I think I would have liked it if you were my teacher.
I'd say I'm a pretty cool teacher.
I was able to win teachers over a lot by being all, not that you can see, but I would be all smiley and be like, oh, hi, teacher.
I see you as a schmoozer for sure.
Oh my God, I am so schmooze. I was like, oh, I couldn't do my report. My dog ate it.
Right? I could see you doing that.
That is totally what I would do.
I tell you your BS, but you'd love me for it.
I would. It's pretty much how I made it through college. Okay, let's talk about a little bit about Big Brother this week. And we're going to kind of do it really quickly, chat room, because I know you guys are going to have more questions for Tiffany, but we also want to know what she thinks of the stuff that has gone down this week, which quickly started on Friday with the carnival, or like a memory recap lane type of a show. We got to see James and Natalie making out and reliving their story. Everybody cheersing, lots of prizes to be won from people, or not, we don't really know. And of course, Jesse made an appearance, and it was fun. It was a fun carnival experience. Tiffany, do you like carnivals?
Do I like carnivals? They're kind of creepy, but they're all right.
Would you have liked a Big Brother carnival?
It seemed cool. Yeah, why not?
I like the little cardboard cutouts. So you were there as a cardboard cutout. Jose was there. All the pre-jury people were there as cardboard cutouts. And then they would kind of like walk along and talk to you guys a little bit and be like, oh, we missed you, Cardboard Tiffany.
Yeah. I kind of missed that. That was the one episode I kind of missed a little bit of that, so.
You didn't, it was basically just recap. All it was kind of like, you know what they do at the end of the season when they flash it all back? It's kind of like that, so you really didn't miss anything. And at the end of the episode, somebody got an advantage. It ended up being Big Meech heading into the HOH, right. Which was the black box.
Right.
How do you think you would have done in this black box situation, Tiffany? Are you afraid of the dark?
It's not my favorite thing, but I definitely would have tried to beast it out. Totally not like my perfect comp, but I would have done my best, you know? You never know when you're in there.
You do. You never know when you're in there. I feel like when they did it last year, it wasn't bad. Like, it's not scary. I think they try and like get in your head, and I couldn't imagine what it's like to be in a, big dark room. Right. But I feel like you would just have to beast it and be like, there's nothing scary in here. Just go for them.
Oh, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, you're in a box and nothing's going to come at you or anything.
Right, exactly. So, it was surprisingly Natalie that ended up winning this HOH, and then America, voted Big Meech to be the co-HOH. Oh my God, Tiffany, did you like this co-HOH twist?
Honestly, for like who I'm kind of rooting for, I guess it didn't hurt. I wasn't, it wasn't like, oh God, Meech got the co-HOH. And there's been a lot of twists this season. So, I mean, it's kind of annoying the fact that there are so many twists, but at the end of the day, oh God.
It's not Frozen. It's not. I'll say this. Chat room, this is a you now problem. If it's gonna freeze, we'll come back, don't worry, and everything's fine on the edited show. So it just gives you all a reason to come and watch it back. We won't keep stopping for you guys when it freezes, but I promise you're not gonna miss much. Because it's all fine on the recorded backup version. It's just you now that happens sometimes. So did you like the twist, Tiffany? Did you like this co-HOH? If you were HOH, would you have wanted to have been in a situation where there was a co-HOH?
If I was Natalie, I wouldn't have been super happy the fact that she didn't get to win it. This is her first and only HOH. She kind of, was wanting that. And I don't know. I personally wouldn't have wanted a co-HOH, but then again, it wasn't the worst case scenario for her. It was Meech, and they are kind of on the same page. And so that kind of worked out for her.
It did. I mean, it definitely took a little bit of the pressure off Natalie. Originally, we saw Paul freak out this week on Natalie and Big Meech because they ended up nominating Victor and Paul.
Right.
Were you surprised by that? Because I kind of was floored that was their choices.
Well, honestly, talking to Natalie in the house, I knew that, she might look so sweet and innocent and everything, but I knew that she was like never going to put up a girl and that she wanted to make big moves. So I'm actually not surprised that she did that. She said it was strictly game. Was it her best move? Long term, maybe, but, short term, they were on her side. So I can see both sides.
I mean, they had no reason. Their reasons for nominating them were basically nothing. I mean, I was justified with pulling that. I mean, say Victor's a big threat, but he was working with them, and Natalie didn't really seem, she was just kind of like, oh, is that what I'm thinking at this moment right now, even though we were working together the entire last 2 weeks? Let's nominate him.
But Paul's a sneaky one, and so you can, and he is somebody who floats to the power, so you can't really trust him, at the end of the day. Even though it's been, consistent up to that point, he's somebody who I would not necessarily trust, with my full
Right.
game.
I don't, do we think that Natalie knows that, though? Do we think Natalie knows he's a floater to the power? Because I kind of feel like Natalie would believe he's been true to their side the whole time.
She thinks he's sketch, but you're right. Like, I don't know if she thinks he's sketch for the same reasons that I would think he's sketch.
Right.
I don't know.
Like, we know watching everything, but I'm not so sure that Natalie and even James, to a point, think it. But maybe they have to because, well, they put them up.
Right.
I loved Paul confronting first Natalie on it in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I loved Paul following up and confronting Nicole on it.
Yeah.
I loved it. I thought it was the best.
Yeah. It was very big.
Exact 100%. Now, there's a lot of controversy in the house this week, like there always is. A lot of people are falling off Team Natalie, Team Girl Power this week because they feel like the power has gone to Natalie's head, that she is using I think she's saying now that oh goodness, she's saying Paul sexually harassed her, which isn't funny, but she's saying Paul sexually harassed her on the show.
That works. She knows that that's something that works on, like, for her in influencing in this game. She saw how it worked with James with the whole Polly thing. So I think she's using whatever strengths she has right now. So on her part, it is kind of smart,
Mm-hmm.
if she had an end goal. But like I said, like you said, I don't know if she's really that strong in her decisions on her own. She kind of is listening to a lot of different people, so it makes her game strategy kind of all over the place, like you said.
Right. I think this week, and we're going to talk spoilers at the end. We're going to take questions at the end. We're going to talk spoilers at the end. All right, so let's move over to the POV for this week, which was BB Stormwatch. And again, they love talking about that Tiffany and raining, and they won't let it go.
I know.
I don't like it.
Not funny. Hashtag funny, not funny.
I don't get it. I don't get why they're still... I was surprised that that's where that they went with it, because I felt like at the end they were very much, maybe trying to be supportive and go the other way. So I was a little surprised that they went there with that. But it seemed like they focused more on Glenn and Jose, actually. I feel like in the show they didn't really show yours. They only brought yours up during the actual competing in the POV.
Right. Yeah.
I liked it. It was a good comp.
I liked it.
It was fun. It was definitely a fun new comp. I like the twist. I also like how they kind of incorporate one comp like this POV, and then they kind of incorporate it into the next HOH. Like they were on that pier, they were on that dock, and the little crocodile. Now, I have a very serious question for you. I have a very important question.
Okay, I got it.
Do you know people that eat like this in real life and don't know how to hold a fork? Oh, you can't. Well, you can say. Nicole does not know how to hold silverware, and it's really starting to bother me. She holds it like she's mashing mashed potatoes when she eats.
I saw that in the house.
You never saw that?
No, was that a one-time thing, or she does it all the time?
All the time. Her and James literally think the food is going to run off their plate because they stab at it. No matter what they're eating, they just stab away at the plate. And I can't take it anymore.
Oh my God, you're funny. You are funny. I did not notice that. Honestly, I never noticed that. There's some other things I noticed about the way people eat in there, but never the...
Never the fork stabbing. Now, and I apologize, chat room. Now, when you guys watch them eat, you're gonna be like, "Oh, I wish he didn't draw our attention to that." This is all I can think. It's all I can think about. All right, so let's move on to last night's episode. What I think a lot of people I have been seeing on Twitter want to know your thoughts on, and what you think about everything that has gone on. So obviously, I will say first, Paul is the one that won that POV. He pulled himself off, and Corey ended up being the replacement nom this week. And I'll actually say this. I don't know, you probably didn't because you're working, but on the feeds last night, Tiffany, right before the show went live, we thought there was going to be a flip. Oh, okay, we'll reset.
No, I saw it. I tweeted about it. I was like, if Vic and Paul pull this off, oh my God.
Oh, so for the people that maybe not have seen it, basically, Victor and Paul put together this huge plan to convince Natalie and James that they are no longer working together, they are dead to each other, and it really seemed like James bought it hook, line, and sinker. And we didn't know going into the show. Did you feel like they were buying?
I really thought that they were going to flip on Corey, and it was surprising. I wonder what went down. I bet, Nicole had her last word with James, I'm sure. Just like she did on the wall. Just like she did.
Oh, we're going to get to that wall because we got wall spoilers. Yes. But I loved it. And I didn't know because I was away and I missed the part where this was a plan. I just had the feeds on while I was driving and was like, oh my God, are Paul and Victor really fighting? Like, I was buying it.
Yeah, really?
Oh, well, because I didn't know it was a plan.
I could tell. Victor, I don't know, when Victor was yelling, it just seemed, to me, because I know how he is, I could tell he was faking it, but...
Oh, well, maybe that's why James then knew. But we went into the live show and we were all on the edge of our seats waiting to find out what happened. But first, we got Paulie in the jury house.
Oh my gosh, that was everything.
Now, did you love it?
That was like amazing TV. Just, did that really happen? It was crazy.
Oh, it happened. I love when Devon was like, you need to sit down, and I need to bring your ego from here to here while your ears red.
Down, it was hilarious.
It was the best. And then to finally have Zakiya kind of confront Paulie and Devon be like, oh, we got to step out of here and let you two go at it. It was the best. I, which I think most people know, I was busy watching this show with Glenn and Giselle, and we missed you, Tiffany, and Gina Marie and Eric Stein, all at this bar, and, like, people went crazy over the Paulie segment. They loved Paulie getting read up and down by the girls.
Yep.
They all loved it. Great. And then, of course, jury gets told, you guys have a chance to go back in. We see Victor go out for the third time. Third time is out. Julie tells them all, somebody's coming back. James almost dies. I wish. Yeah. And then, I not really wish. Can make her caps. And then we get to see our jurors. Now, next question, Tiffany. I'm hoping...
Yes. No, that?
I'm hoping that you can see the picture.
Yes, what is that? I don't know.
What is going on? Did they run out of the budget on Paulie's pants?
I don't know. What was that?
Does he think he's a go-go boy?
I don't know. That was so weird.
Nobody understood. And I didn't even... There was like one moment when they put it on the screen. Like, you know how they put up the people's tweets? Somebody tweeted, Paulie Shorts, ? And they put it on the screen, and I loved it.
I got so many texts about that. I was like, wow, it's crazy.
But I feel like he wore those short shorts all season long. I don't feel like that's the first time we've seen Paulie in short shorts. I don't know why I thought it was so
extra. Oh, those were definitely extra.
They were definitely, and he was rearranging the equipment too, and I was like, oh my god, you are on live television.
So funny.
Why are you rearranging, Paulie? Why are you rearranging? So then we all got to see, we were all questioning, what is this going to be? How are they going to make these jurors battle back? And of course, it was The Wall. Was The Wall a competition, Tiffany, that you, like? I know a lot of people really want to play in it. I feel like Big Brother fans that get on the show know of it. You would have wanted to play it?
Totally, yeah. I'm not saying that I would have beasted it. I don't really know. I either would have done exceptionally well or I would have sucked at it. I think it's one or the other with me because that's pretty much how I was in all the comps. I either was really good at it or not so good. And the fact that I'm tall, that would have been a disadvantage, but I don't know. My legs are extremely strong, so that could be something that helped me.
Yeah, I think your legs help you half the time. It all depends on like that tilt of the wall, whether you're using arms or legs. I don't know why more people don't implement James's strategy of the whole crouching. Go ahead.
He told me that it's really hard to do the crouching. He told me this before I left, obviously, that getting down and then keeping your feet stable, like just getting down is a feat in and of itself. So you got to be really careful.
Right. And I think for people like us, I think when you're a tall person, it's much harder to get into those positions. I want to see a Big Brother season because we always have this variation of the wall, like whether it's the wall or a spinning paint can or whatever it is with the mini ledge. Mm-hmm. I just kind of wish they would build them for the people's heights, I guess.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not saying it's not fair, but I just feel like everybody at different heights...
It's always the little people that win them.
Little people and little feet.
Yep.
That is what does it. So, moral of the story...
It was Shelley and James last year. This year it was Nicole and James.
Yep. And moral of the story is, if you're going on Big Brother, look into feet binding. Because if you can get your foot, like, really small, you can stay on that ledge, and it's a big help. So I will now say we're going to talk spoilers a little bit. We're going to fill you guys in on who won HOH, who won the prize packet or America's Care Package. And no, I don't mean this one, not Paulie's America's Care Package. So watching the feeds, we saw first Devon and Zakiya held hands and jumped off the wall.
Right.
What was that about?
No idea. So confused. Like, I was trying to think of like anything that, I mean, I heard her whispering that she was in pain or she wasn't going to be able to do it, but gosh, it hadn't even been, I think, 30 minutes at that point.
No, it was almost instant. I feel like it was 10 minutes in.
Yeah, I don't know. But the fact that they did it together was very strange. Like, at least make it look believable, like, you know, one at a time. But like, they just made a conscious effort to be like, okay, 1, 2, 3, jump. That was kind of like, I don't know. I wouldn't have done something like that. Like,
I didn't get it. I mean, unless maybe, because I didn't realize how high up it was. It kind of did feel like they were definitely high up. It seemed like there was a bit of a fall to that. So maybe like Zakiya was scared.
Yes, because I forgot. Zakiya doesn't know how to swim. Right.
Oh, so there we go. So that's probably what it was then. Devon was being nice to Zakiya. She should have been like, yes, come on, take my hand, let's jump, and then just push her in.
Maybe. Wasn't it like 2 feet of water? Come on.
Well, but weren't they the first? They were the first ones to go, so maybe they didn't know how deep it was.
Okay.
I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. But now, if that was me and I was Zakiya and I was Devon, I would have totally been like, "Yes, Zakiya, I'm ready, and let's jump." And I would have just stayed on the wall. I mean, like 1 down, 3 to go. I was surprised how long Bridget held on for. Bridget held on to that for a super long time. I mean, she's basically one of the last girls standing.
Yep.
But unfortunately fell. It ended up being Victor and Paulie as the last 2 jurors. Paulie very much struggling.
Yeah, I was surprised.
He was angry. He was angry at this wall. The faces that Paulie was making on this wall, I was like, girl. He was not happy.
Victor's just like chilling. He's just like, doo-doo-doo, looking like he doesn't have any problems. Like, it's crazy.
I love Victor. I don't know. I started this season with a crush on Corey, and I am all Victor. I am all in on Victor.
Right? I love Victor. Aw.
Cooks, cleans, is a good person. Yeah. Love him. We need to shave the beard.
Like, smart when he needs to be, you know? He's
Are you one of the people who feel that you wouldn't want Victor to win? I find a lot of people feel it is not fair if Victor wins this game because he's been voted out once already before, and the winner should be someone who's been in there the whole time. How do you feel about that?
Gosh, it's just brought a different element to the game, this whole twist, and the fact that he has been evicted twice. So I think on one hand, it's an amazing feat what he's done, and
right.
He's the first one to do it. But on the other hand, of course, there's the other argument that being evicted is the whole point of, not being evicted and not being nominated is like the whole point of the game, the whole social part, which is, something that he struggles with, I think, the most out of all the aspects of the game. So I see both sides for sure. It depends on who he'd be sitting next to.
Right. Well, I think it's fair, and honestly, I want Victor to win. Like, if I have to pick somebody that I want to win who is in the house right now, let's whip out that handy-dandy cheat sheet. Yeah, Victor. Oh, no, or Paul.
Or Paul, yeah.
Victor or Paul is who I am.
Paul, I think. Like, he's the best well-rounded in every area, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. And if you had to pick right now, I wish I remember who you said last episode, but who would you want to win at this point in the season? Or you can say final 2. Who would you like to see in the final 2?
Gosh, so hard. I think anyone but James or Corey. Anyone but James or Corey, I think.
anybody. I really wanted a girl to win this season. I wanted it so bad. But well, who are we left with? Nicole, Natalie, and Michelle.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think Michelle's played the strongest game. So, as much as even though of all the drama that we went through, I like her, personally out of the three.
Mm-hmm.
And Natalie too. I think Nicole, I know you're not a huge Nicole fan, but there's some, I think she's never been nominated. You got to give her that.
I totally give her that. I give her total props for not being nominated. I won't say although. I do give her props for not being nominated. I do know the other argument to that is because nobody felt like she did anything. No, but yes, you are correct. Making it through a season with the roadkills, 3 nominees, that is a huge thing to maneuver your way through the whole time without being nominated. So 100% she deserves credit for that. And go ahead.
Somebody made a good point, and I've seen this on Twitter. I saw this in the this chat right room. Here. She's playing very similarly to Andy. And look where he was, And I respect a big portion of Andy's game. I know some people,
love Andy's game. I love Andy's game. I think the people that don't like Nicole's game because they think that her gameplay is to attach to a guy. They in other words, they want her to go off on her own. They want to see her play not almost in a duo where you always know you have that extra vote. You always know you have somebody fighting for you. I think that is what I guess people that don't like that.
Right, for the sake of the game, I understand. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so then we see Paulie fall. Victor, everyone, is, like we said, back for the 3rd time, or second time. But I guess, is that considered your 3rd chance? This is math, and it's hard. It's his second back. If it's his second back in, it's his
third
chance.
His 3rd run in the house, yeah.
Right, 3rd run in the okay, I was totally right. Okay, so then who falls? Then Corey falls. Then Victor falls. Then Paul falls.
Right.
And my soul died. Oh. We are left with Nicole and James on the wall. And I will give her credit. Nicole ends up winning. Nicole becomes the HOH.
Yeah, and you know what? As much as she was talking and trying to get James to give it to her, she did not look like she was struggling as much as James. So she had a fair shot had he not even just given it to her.
100%. She definitely had a fair shot. And 100%. I mean, I wanted this HOH to happen because I wanted to see what Nicole is going to do with an HOH. Now, last night, we saw Nicole say on the feeds, I hope America's Care Package is the overthrow of the HOH because I don't want to burn any bridges. I'm like, then why'd you win?
Oh my gosh.
Jump in the water then. What are you worried about? I don't get it. But earlier today, she made a Final 4 deal with Paul and Victor.
What?
Oh yeah. Her and Corey upstairs in the HOH today, right before noms, made a Final 4 deal with Paul and Victor.
So she's not going to nominate them as pawns for getting Meech out?
Who knows what they're really going to do, but they made the deal. She, I believe, is putting Paul up. Yeah, I see the chat room is saying Paul, she's gonna put Paul up. Their alliance name is Final 4.
Oh my God.
They're gonna go to the Final 4. How? Do you think this is good gameplay on Nicole's part? Clearly,
Final 4 with Natalie and James, and a Final 4 with Paul and Victor. So they're sitting pretty in the middle right now.
They are sitting pretty in the middle. I totally agree with you on that. However, They're in power this week, so they can definitely take apart Paul and Victor again if they want. I would kind of be worried if I was Nicole. I don't want it to get out that I just made a Final Four with these other two people. It's going to paint them as exactly what Paul and Victor have been claiming they do to Natalie and Nicole once it gets out.
To Natalie and James?
I mean, to Natalie and James. To Natalie and James.
Yeah, well, they're going to do what they've been doing this whole time, and that's lie, lie, lie. They're going to probably say you can't, their word is nothing. Like, I think that you're just going to have to spin it. There's only so many people in the house at this point, and they're going to be like, well, you can believe them or you cannot, I'm assuming.
Right. I see. I think a lot of it depends on Michelle. What Michelle is going to do, where Michelle is going to go, and where Michelle is going to put her loyalty, because she's kind of needed as these couples break up, if they break up. And she is getting a second chance this week, because I think Michelle made a huge mistake last week. Really, her hands were tied, because what were her choices last week? Corey... She couldn't put up Paul, James, or Nicole, right? Mm-hmm. So, right. But the only people voting would have been Nicole if she wasn't up. My point is, I wanted her to put up James, was really my point. Because why are you going to screw over, any chance that you would have to get further in the game? So,
I hear you.
Yeah, I know they don't hear. It's you now is having problems. It's popping up. But don't worry, the edited show is fine because we're great on our ends. Okay, so, noms haven't happened yet unless they happen since this show started. Chat room, has nominations happened in the past 30 minutes or so? I don't think that they have yet. Dancing Amy says not yet. All three guys in the Final Four Alliance will take Nicole to the final two. It's very smart for her to stick to it. But still not if James realizes, right? Because if James realizes that Nicole made deals with Corey and with Victor and Paul, he's going to be pissed and be like, I thought you were only in a Final Four with us. So I don't know why that would be good for her no matter what.
But then she's always going to be able to, she gets in his head. She's going to be able to spin it to them and be like, you got to say what you got to say, but I'm really with you. Like I know I can see her doing that. So she just had this pull on James.
I see people in the chat room are saying Nicole want Natalie or Meech out this week. I know. I have definitely heard them say that. I just don't know that I believe it. I don't know that I believe it. I feel like it would be not a great move on their part, but we know from DRs, Nicole feels like Michelle would come after her. So I guess in that aspect, it would make sense for her to go after Michelle.
What would you do if you were Nicole?
If I was Nicole, I would be like, sorry, America, for whining on your feeds. I'm just going to self-evict right now and make everyone happy, especially Eric at Reality Recaps.
You want HOH this week.
Oh, if I want HOH this week? I HOH this week. I mean, no, I'll say it as if I'm Nicole. I think her best move would be to break up the two couples. So she should put up somebody from James and Natalie and somebody from Paul and Victor. I mean, at this point in the game, having any people that are guaranteed 2 votes against anything that you want is horrible for your game. Being a solo player in this game is a horrible thing. Obviously, she's not going to break up herself, so that was stupid for me to say. But so I would say Paul and Victor. She should go after Paul and Victor, would be what she should do.
I hear you. When you have two different duos that are kind of going after each other, and you're in the middle, you want to keep them in to go after each other, and you're just sitting back, and then you can pick up the little solo players like a Meech or whoever is, or even the ones that are left without the other person. Like, let's say Natalie gets evicted, then Nicole has James to herself and Meech. Because Meech is by herself. Well, maybe James could pair up with Meech. You never know.
And I agree with that, but maybe... See, I feel like Nicole, they didn't know there was a jury buyback, and she knew Natalie or James specifically was the swing vote this week. She knew that James just kept Corey in the house. So I would think if I was Nicole, I would feel like, wow, they really do have super loyalty to us. I'm not gonna stab them in the back. It would have been real easy for them just to take Corey out of this game right now.
Right.
So that's why I feel like kind of having loyalty at this point in the game, or believing that people are on your side at this point of the game, is good. And the justification for their flips each week never makes sense to me.
Yeah, I think her justification this week is that she wants to align herself with stronger players.
Well, but 3 weeks out, Nicole. Good time to start playing. Gabby Heller Dally B on Twitter wants to know, Tiffany, are you happy that Victor is the returning player back in the house?
Yes, I am. I like him. Most of
You do like him. Can you ask Tiffany, and this is the part of her question, can you also ask Tiffany what her favorite part of last night's episode was?
Oh, definitely the jury recap for sure.
That was.
The jury segment.
So what do you want to see? Like, how do you want to see this week play out? I know a lot of people want to know. What do you think Nicole's best move is as this week continues?
God, it's hard to say. It really is. I don't have enough information to say something that's probably the best. But just from seeing where her head's been at and who's kind of had her side, maybe getting out the big threats, like you said, would be a good choice.
All right, let's talk about the America's Care Package winner, Corey.
Mm-hmm.
What? Where did that come from? You know who the least person I see mentioned on Twitter is? Corey.
Yeah.
Unless it's people not being happy with him for whatever reason. So it's like, wait, what? And now, in case you guys don't know what the care package is, he has $5,000 that he can bribe anybody for a vote, or to throw a competition, or whatever. He can he bribe them to make a sundae on their face? I don't know. But I think it's for a vote or throwing or whatever he wants.
It's whatever you want. But what's so stupid about this is it's like he already is aligned with the power this week, so it's not even going to do anything. So weird.
What would you do if you were Corey? Because I know what I would do.
It all depends, honestly, on how it goes with the POV.
Doesn't he? He can use it any time during the week, right?
Yeah.
I would put my faith in Nicole, because I'm Corey. Of course I'm putting my faith in Nicole. And I would say, hi, Nicole, I'm here to bribe you not to put me on the block. And here's $5,000 for accepting my bribe, sweetheart. I love you, $5,000. America's favorite player moment. That's what I would do if I was Corey. Because nobody's going to do anything. Do you think anybody is really going to...
Can he keep it for himself?
I would like to know that. It's not in the official rules, and we don't know.
Oh.
I don't think you're allowed to keep it. Kathy Scalise in the chat room says no. So no. I would assume no. I think if they're telling you have to use it for a bribe, you have to then, I would assume, use it for a bribe.
Yes, Nicole.
He what?
I said, yeah, so then just give it to Nicole.
Yeah, exactly. Just give it to Nicole. Have your America's favorite player moment. Who, besides yourself, at this moment, would you like to see winning America's favorite player this season? If it couldn't be you, who would you be happy clinching it next?
Natalie, probably. Or, I know, people have kind of changed their opinions this week, but I think it'll be back probably to like Team Natalie. I like Natalie or Vic even.
Yeah. I would like a Natalie. I would like a Natalie or a Vic, and I agree. I think now that Natalie is out of power, and especially if she ends up in danger, I think I think people are gonna start liking her again, because I feel like people root more for the underdog and seem to forget very easily other stuff. Question. This is a great question, and we did get this one a lot. Love and Kindness in the chat room wants to know, what do your students think of you having been on Big Brother? Oh, I guess that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, I don't know yet. The students don't come until like a couple weeks, like the 7th. But right now, just kind of doing all the prep stuff. But the faculty and staff have been really supportive. You know, people I had never spoken to come up to me and like talk about the show. It's really cool. Kind of, you know, brought me closer to some people that I would have never talked to otherwise.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Did they have? No, I'm not even gonna go. We're not even gonna go there. I want to know behind the scenes. Like, oh, did they have a cake? But no, we're not even gonna go there. If they take the money, it's a binding contract, and they have to do what is promised. Correct. As far as I understand, I would assume Big Brother is going to enforce this bribe, since the bribe is put into the game. So I would assume whoever says, yes, I accept the bribe, I'm sure then that's it, and they can't change their mind. I don't know. There's so many aspects to it that we all would like to know. Brent1177 in the chat room wants to know, Tiffany, thoughts on Corey constantly talking about you? By the way, love you, queen.
Oh, so cute. Well, obviously, you could see with my Twitter rant yesterday, I wasn't too happy.
I didn't see.
On
Go.
so many levels. I can't stand anything about that kid. I just can't. Honestly.
What was your
everything about him?
What was your Twitter rant about?
I was like, I just said Corey from Big Brother 18 never cared. Like, I don't care about him because he's irrelevant to me. He keeps talking about me.
Right. You said Corey from BB18 never cared. Fool can't keep his mouth shut. Dumber than a box of rocks. Oh, I say that. Sorry, not sorry. Right. Well, what was Corey saying now? Is he burning more goats?
No, he's just like just makes no sense, because I honestly didn't do one thing to him in the house. Just saying how he can't stand me and I ruined his game and since the beginning, and like talked about the whole rocket comp. Like, get the heck over it. Yeah. Like, he
is still talking about the rocket comp?
Yeah, like, get over it, man. Like, come on.
I don't get Corey. I don't.
He got mad, apparently. I saw he got mad last night. Nicole told him, Tiffany said that I'm the cuter out of us two. And he's like, what? He's like, I can't stand her. Really? I did tell her that.
Oh my God.
I know what you're thinking, but whatever.
Oh, Corey. I don't understand Corey. I don't get the appeal of Corey. I don't understand how Corey won the bribe. None of it makes any sense to me at all. I don't get it. I don't get it.
I don't know. Maybe
they love him. Maybe maybe the large percentage of the voting public, I don't know, is not on Twitter. They're voting, but they are not vocal on Twitter. Or maybe I have a lot of Nicole and Corey fans blocked, so I don't see it.
Yeah, maybe a lot of the Nicole fans went for Corey.
I'm sure that's true too. And Nicole does, I think, a lot of, as much as I can have my own personal, they're not even really game feelings about Nicole. I mean, she does have a large fan base. So, I mean, that is true. They probably all dumped their votes onto Corey. Do you think, Dylan wants to know in the chat room, do you think that there is going to be a double eviction or not for this season now, Tiffany?
I think there has to be. They were talking about it like weeks wise and being able to fit in, the number of people. So I think there will be one more.
Mm-hmm. Sunny Skype says, I love the hat. Did Frank the Tank give that to you?
No, he didn't give it to me, but it was inspired by his hat in the house for sure. I saw it and I got it because I loved it.
Oh, that Frank.
Yeah.
He is that. Hey, Frank, if you're watching, you're probably not. I saw you tweet out that you're on a mountain. Call
What?
us. I don't think Frank wants to do any shows. I don't think he's into it. I don't think he is. How many hats do we have? I think we all have a lot of hats. That's a weird question. Now going into, let's just say that what Nicole wants to happen. Let's pretend Nicole actually wants Natalie and Meech out this week. Let's go with if it's Natalie that ends up getting out. Do you think that there is any chance James is going to be able to get back in with a Nicole or Corey? Or do you think then his ship is sunk and the rest of the house is just going to pounce on James?
Well, I think if Nicole's smart, she'll try to keep him on her side, as like a side situation, because James's number one loyalty then at that point would be to Nicole. So, she could always be his number two, let's just say by chance he wins and gets rid of the Vic Paul situation. So I think she'll be working to try to keep him safe, but I don't know how much power she's going to have over that. Depends on who wins the HOH, honestly, it comes down to that.
Wesley Lester wants to know, who is one player who you've changed your opinion on the most now that you're outside of the house and watching the show?
Maybe a lot of them, honestly, but definitely Victor. I didn't get to know Victor that much, and I didn't really have a strong opinion other than just not being a huge fan of him in the beginning when I was in the house. And then obviously when he was back in the house is when I wasn't in the house, and so I've been able to watch him more, and I've really grown to like Victor as a person.
Yeah, I like all of Victor. KK Whitting wants to know, one of your and your sister's biggest fans wants to know, if Paul and Vic are final two, who do you think will win, the brain or the brawn?
I think with the way that, with who would be in the jury, probably Paul, honestly, I think it would get to I think they would discuss the fact that, Victor's had a lot of comp wins, but what else has he brought to the table? Paul's been working 24/7, his mind's been going. He was on the block a few times, but he was never evicted. There's a lot, I would say overall, Paul's a better player, to be honest.
I think Paul would probably be able to answer people's questions better than Victor.
Yes, he's very, very well spoken and, very intellectual.
And I think he would own it. I think that's kind of a trap that sometimes the final two people of not just Big Brother, but Survivor, like all these shows like this, fall into, where they think, ooh, I don't want to piss the jury off right now. I need to still, be nice, when all the jury wants to hear sometimes is, yes, I screwed you over. And they might vote for you if you actually say that.
Exactly.
Allison XOXO Feedsters has a very serious question for you. She wants to know, Baldwin or Pablo, who wins? Baldwin being the puppet that Corey had to wear, and I think Pablo is the other version of the puppet that Victor does.
Definitely the one that Victor does. So much funnier.
I agree. Yeah, it is. Would you, I forget if we asked you this the last time you were on. I see a lot of questions you guys are asking. Tiffany did answer a lot of those on the last show, so you can go watch that back there. But I forget if we asked you this. Would you ever do Amazing Race? Like if they, let's say, wanted you and Vanessa to do it together, is that something you would ever do?
Oh my gosh, yes. Definitely. You would? For sure.
No fear of heights or mountain climbing or drowning? No? How would Vanessa do? Would she do good, you think?
Would she do good, you said?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I would love it.
I mean, the thing is that we both, the one problem with us is we're kind of the same in that we are directionally challenged.
Uh-huh.
So that would be our one biggest problem. But aside from that, I think that we would be a good team.
I would love to see it. I want to see both of you in other countries. I want to see you doing challenges together. I think it would confuse people when they hear you, both of you talk in other places. I would love it. I would love it. I have heard this question before, which you don't have to answer if you don't want to. Because you guys have one more sister, right?
Yeah.
Does she look or sound like you guys as well?
A little bit, yeah. Definitely you can tell that we're sisters, but she doesn't have the same voice or mannerisms, not at all. It's really strange how that worked out.
Got you. Would you ever do Survivor? We did see that I saw that a lot for you too. Would you do Survivor?
I don't know about that. That's a whole other ball game. That's like intense. It's really, really hardcore. I don't know, honestly. I don't think I would do so well on Survivor, to be honest.
I don't either. I need to eat and not be in the rain. That is what I need. I literally had to walk my dog the other day, and it was raining outside. I was outside for 2 minutes. I almost had a mental breakdown. I was like, I don't understand how people do it on Survivor.
Right?
And I had an umbrella.
Right.
So I don't get it. Are you going to watch the fall edition of Big Brother Online? Lisa Mack 6737 wants to know.
I'll definitely check it out for sure. It's something different. I want to see the way it's set up and stuff. And I probably won't have time to watch it fully and truly invest myself in it, but I'll definitely check it out.
What's interesting, I don't know if you've heard, but apparently they have come out, Allison Grodner has come out and said, no cutting of the feeds for stuff. So you get to watch competitions play out completely. You get to watch POV ceremonies, nomination ceremonies. There's going to be no cutting of the feeds.
So it's not going to be like an edited show at all. The show is the feeds, basically?
They didn't say that part, because now this is the part that confuses me. While they came out and said no cutting of the feeds, they've also said Julie is still the host and still doing it. So I don't, what is she hosting then? Is there going to be like a recap for people that don't get to see? I don't get it. I don't really understand how it's going to work with all of that. And then I think we go right into Big Brother Canada. So it's for Big Brother fans, they are loving that they had Big Brother 18, Big Brother Online, Big Brother Canada, back to Big Brother 19. It is going to be crazy.
Have you been watching Celebrity Big Brother?
No.
Oh, okay. I started watching it online. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
Well, it just ended today, right?
Yeah, I was going to ask you if you knew who won.
Bear
won? What?
Yeah. And Frankie came in 6th. Spoiler alert.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Bear won.
Oh wow.
Yep. I just so happened to see it on Twitter. They were like, they said Frankie was voted out 6th, and then somebody else
Aubrey. How did Aubrey do, guys?
I want to say 3rd. Let's see if I have any memory, which I probably don't. But I'm gonna go with I think it was 3rd.
Who was 2nd?
Yeah, why don't you guys just tell us 5th. Okay, I don't. What's the order? Tell us the order, chat room. So Aubrey was 5th, Bear won. I know Frankie was 6th. Ricky
2nd? You know what? He came in from behind.
Ricky 2nd, Renee is in 3rd. This is right. Yeah. Actually, no, I do appreciate that, Jolly G, but robots is YouNow's problem, not on our end. But I agree. Tiffany not seeing us is why they need to go into Amazon trials. The nomination ceremony is happening right now. Well, great. That is going to give you guys time to catch up on all of your Big Brother watching and all of your Big Brother love. Tiffany, I don't even understand how it's been an hour. I'm going to start there. I don't even know how we're already at an hour. I don't. Is there anything that you want to know from the chat room, Tiffany?
I can't think of anything right now.
Well, let's talk about this, because I saw you doing a fan show over on You Now that everybody was loving. I've heard so many good things about it. Are you going to do any other You Now shows in the future?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I'm thinking, maybe once every couple weeks, probably.
Sounds perfect. And I know there was like the problem with recording it. If you let me know before you do it, I'll record it on my end. Like, while it's live, I'll record it on my end so you have a backup of it. Like, you still do it on yours and everything, but just tell me before and I'll make sure I'm recording it for you.
Awesome.
And then you'll have that little backup for it. Okay, what do you want to say? Obviously, you say you've had I think someone said we had 2.7 thousand and trending at one point during the show. Clearly, you have tons of people in here, Tiffany. What do you want to say to all your fans?
You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for following me and for just being there for the support. It's been awesome. I really appreciate everything you guys, have been saying, and awesome. All of it is awesome. I love it.
Ooh, Vanessa Max says we're now at 3.4K. Yay,
Where do
You Know.
Know that? I don't see that.
I don't know. They see it in the chat room. They reported to me. I think it's up. Oh, yeah, I do see it. We're the number 3rd show on You Now right now. We're in the top of the trending section of all the shows. It's up in the left-hand corner.
Oh, I see.
There you go. That's all you. It's me. Yeah, that's all you, Tiffany. Where can people follow you on social media? Of course, the links will be below this show, but for the people that might be listening to the audio version back on iTunes, where can they find you on social media, Tiffany?
So my Twitter's handle is Tiffany Alexis04, and same with Instagram, Tiffany Alexis04. Snapchat is Pez Dispenser with 2 R's.
Oh.
I don't know. Don't ask about that one.
Sounds like it'd be Corey's. Anyway, I love Tiffany. Wish she was on all the time. I think if you've been seeing the chat room, Tiffany, I don't need to tell you. All of these people love you.
Oh, I love you guys.
And here, I will say this for Tiffany. You know what? Nothing is going to show love more for Tiffany than in 2 weeks from now when America's Favorite Player voting starts.
Oh, does it start in 2 weeks?
I believe in about 2 weeks, yep. So, we all need to make sure that we go out there and vote for Tiffany. That is when you should do your You Know shows. Clearly. All right, everybody. We are going to sign off. I might be back later tonight. Of course, I'll do a live feed spoiler show tomorrow. We have our patron show tomorrow, too. Thank you, Tiffany, so much for coming and talking to everybody, recapping the week. We will see you guys all later. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. YourGalleryGifts.com/Amazon trial. 3 days left. Go do it. Bye.
Hey, just kidding. I love you.